welcome back to the Squadcast, the official podcast of Glasgow Warriors. Hope everybody is doing well. Thank you for everybody that listened into our episode with Lee Jones before our week off, because I was away gallivanting on holiday and Murphy was away being, well, a Scotland cap. So first things first, Mr. Murphy Walker, welcome back. Now you are a Scotland cap.
Thanks for having me. I've been missing it heaps and heaps. But I'm very happy to be back. On the Squadcast with our new guest as well.
Yeah. Well, first things first, before we introduce our new
Okay.
guest, can we just get a statement on record that you're not going to forget your roots now? You're big time.
Not at all. But our guest has definitely forgotten his roots ever since he's been playing for Glasgow.
Our guest is sitting on the other side of the table, representing our training kit in wonderful fashion, by the way, I must say. It's a shame this is not a visual medium at the moment. Gregor Brown, how are you?
Yeah, I'm
Gregor
good,
Brown.
thanks. I'm excited. Lots of questions in this hat in front of me. So, I can't wait to get going.
I was going to say, you did reveal before we started recording that you are I would say, an avid listener, despite the fact that you've probably listened to like a couple of them.
Yeah,
Go with avid listener.
yeah, I have. I listened to Sam Johnson's one, I think. And Ollie Smith's, because he said, I don't know, he kind of scared me. He always scares me. He said that he said some things about me. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Very paranoid person. So, I listened just to make sure that things weren't too bad and it was actually fine.
I think you were name checked. I don't know whether it was just by Murphy or Murphy and Ollie as your hidden talent is eating.
Oh, yeah, I'm quite a good eater.
Yeah.
I don't have a sweet tooth, though. That's the thing. It's just all like fast food.
I mean, you say that you've got, again, we're recording this over lunchtime. Gregor's got a very handy-looking plate in front of him, which, as somebody who hasn't had his lunch yet, is looking significantly more and more in danger as this recording goes on. Just tell us what we've got there, Gregor.
Today, Jack has chefed up. I've gone for a baked potato with a bit of tuna and cheese, some veg and broccoli. Very lean.
Very lean, very healthy.
Lean.
In terms of eating for Gregor, and Mrs. Jane Brown will be able to back me up with this. This is hardly anything compared to what he usually has, especially on a Saturday weekend evening.
I think one there was bad. I think must have been week 1 of Franco coming in for pre-season. I went round to Murph's on the Friday evening. I was absolutely dead, and we ordered a couple pizzas.
You ordered a couple pizzas to yourself.
It was so needed though. I've never been so tired in my life. I was dead. Great.
No regrets were had that day.
No regrets.
None.
No. But I don't really put on weight. I can kind of eat what I want, and I just sort of stay the same. It's kind of like a magical. It's quite handy for me.
Still in fantastic shape.
Fantastic shape.
Take a hint of jealousy there, Murphy.
He's currently touching wood because he's still fit, which is always a good thing for Gregor.
We should probably touch on it. It's been a few weeks since we've last been on, but obviously that means we haven't covered the Benetton game here, which both of you were involved in. Great win.
Great win, yeah.
Your thoughts on those ones?
Yeah, I mean, it's always pretty special playing at home, and then when you nil a team, I think it's pretty cool. I saw a stat, can't remember who it was, I think it must be on Twitter, but I think it was the 6th time at home we've ever nilled a team.
Shout out to Mr. Top of the Moon for that one.
Yes, I think it must have been, yep. So, like I say, always special, and the boys were fortunate enough because we nilled a team. They got some pizzas in at training, but unfortunately, some of us were away in camp, so didn't get the rewards.
Probably for the best.
Oh, watch your mouth. So some of us didn't actually get the rewards for that game, but yeah, we, like I said, really special, nilling them and winning at home. But in the review, I think you could tell that there's still a few more points, a few more tries left out there, which is always a promising sign when you've done so well, but you know there's so much more in you.
Gregor, yourself at open side in that game. That was, I say, it's a new one for you. I think it's the first time we've possibly seen you play open side for us. But it looked like you were running around.
It's definitely. I played there a little bit last season. I think I played there in that Leinster game away at the end of the season. Then, sort of just before that, when I was coming off the bench, I came off the bench quite a lot at 7. I'm quite confident. I think that was the first time I've gone 80 minutes at 7, and there was some double calf hammy cramp at the end. I think. Got to the point, Mikey came on and was like, "Are you actually okay?" You did not look. But no, it was great. I really enjoyed it. Actually, I think, as Murphy said, sort of coming back in on Monday after we had those 2 weeks off, it was still very much like, look, it was a great score, it was a great game, but in terms of moving forward, there's still so much to work on.
And step one for that this weekend, away to Leinster.
Yeah, away to Leinster. Not an easy place to go, but this week's been pretty good. Boys looking sharp. just see how today goes with today's session, and then obviously the final touch-ups on Thursday, and then we'll be on that plane and ready to go, ready to get firing.
Do that. And on that note, on with the show, shall we?
Absolutely.
Let's
Crack
go.
on.
So again, a reminder for everybody that is potentially tuning into the Squadcast for the first time. In front of Murphy today is a hat full of various scenarios relating to Gregor's Glasgow Warriors teammates. We did toy with the idea of asking Murphy to bring in his Scotland cap to draw things out, but felt that probably wouldn't go down well. Your job, Gregor, is to answer those to the best of your ability and make sure that we don't lose listeners, basically.
Sweet. Well, so you've put a few questions to the side here.
Nah, it's just the ones we've done before. Anyway,
Do you want me to pick them or not?
no, they're the ones we've done before. Right.
Murphy's filtered them.
Shall I crack in first?
Yeah, you go first.
Right.
I'll learn from you.
Murphy in his best Rod Stewart impression. Let's go.
Yeah, right. Question number one. You're starring in a new film. Your co-star is the teammate that comes up first on your Instagram stories. Who is it, and what would the film be about?
Like comes up first on Instagram stories. So like basically,
Yeah, it's like the one that like when you
like,
mutual friends, it says it's
Yeah.
liked. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Ollie Smith's mine. I don't really know what movie.
What type of movie do you
What
think?
type of movie?
Romance? Rom-com?
Probably. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Something like military, like an action, like explosions and stuff.
You're
I can
the
see us
softest
doing that.
person.
Yeah. But yeah, I think something like a little Christmas movie, maybe coming into Christmas now.
Very
me and
appropriate.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Sort of something to do with us saving
Who's
Christmas.
Mrs. Claus?
Yeah, we're still trying to find that out.
So that's the Hallmark Christmas special. Gregor Brown, Ollie Smith. Just give us a brief summation of what the plot might be.
Gregor's a Grinch, actually.
I'm not what?
You're a Grinch.
That is I love Christmas. Well, my favorite Christmas movie is probably Polar Express. Tradition. Me and my dad would always watch that on Christmas Eve. So maybe something kind of like not animated. Maybe we could just recreate the Polar Express in real life.
I'm really here for an animated Gregor Brown. Ollie
Yeah.
Smith.
All the way from here back up to Aberdeen on the train.
Yeah. That you could. Yeah, that would be good actually.
Driving home for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
all
think
right.
people would watch that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Who's the teammate you definitely wouldn't want to star in a film with? This is a bonus question out of the one that's in the hat, but
Definitely wouldn't.
I feel Murphy might be on the top of that based on where he's gone with your military idea. But
Definitely wouldn't. I'd probably go Rory Darge.
oh yeah,
That's position hitting straight up. He's injured. He can't even back himself here, and you just straight in.
can already prepare myself for the angry WhatsApps from Dodge.
Yeah.
That's made it through.
Yeah,
He's so good looking, is that why?
he'd outdo me. Now, if we spent, I don't know actually. I'm taking that back. I wouldn't go Rory. Probably. There's definitely someone worse. I'm just trying to think of who would annoy me, spending like a lot of time. Because I've not really had any bad roommates on away trips or anything. No one's really annoyed me. Everyone's been real easy. Or maybe like Xander. We have a good time, but maybe too much time together.
Yeah, everything in small amounts with Xander.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe Matt as well. The pair of them.
That's position hit.
It's good to see we've had a week off and we're back to immediately Murphy just roasting the Fagersons straight off the bat again.
Well, you say me, but I reckon if you came into camp and you heard, as in you came around to Scots and got the general gist of those two, you'd realise. You'd pick up fairly quickly.
We'll put a general disclaimer out to listeners. Please don't do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Do you want to dig into
Me
number
first.
two? Yeah.
Go on, Gregor, you're on.
Do you want me to pick these ones?
No,
you
no,
put to the
pick
side?
whatever. Get in the
Because you
middle.
have put a couple to the side.
They're the ones we've done.
The paranoia has set in for Gregor already, I think.
His hands are sweating. You should see
Yeah,
them.
I'm really sweating. Who would be your phone a friend on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
It's a great question.
This will be an interesting one because I think this came up with Lee on the previous one, but Lee has a few answers from previous years. I don't think we've got
Previous
a
years, yeah.
current incarnation of who this person would be.
My first name in my head would be Ross Thompson. Very incredibly smart guy. Just finished his law degree.
Yep.
Whilst being a professional rugby player and a Scotland internationalist. It's very good.
Yeah,
of him.
fair enough. But if you got a question about law, you'd ask him. But anything else?
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, the street smarts are lacking a little bit.
Yeah, very.
We don't really have any like really smart mates.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
Definitely not you.
If this podcast finishes with a stand-up brawl, I think we'll be fine.
It used to be Bob Harley, but
Yeah.
he's left us, unfortunately, departed from us, but now.
I don't know. See, my flatmate Jamie Dobie, very smart guy, but again,
Street smart,
street
not
smarts, I would not.
I would go for another second row in the team
Really?
who has got a lot of file knowledge.
Richie
Big
Gray.
Richie, Big Rich.
Fair.
He's very knowledgeable, both general knowledge and very smart and
True.
with his degree, and also being a dad, you've got to have a bit of street smart dad knowledge as well.
I'm very well connected guy as well. Yeah,
extremely well
I needed my car was like broken pretty much, and I went to him, asked him for a garage straight away. Knew a guy.
I don't know what that has to do with who needs to be a millionaire.
I don't know, just like expanding on his intellect and connections.
Yeah, nice. So Richie Gray.
Yeah, I'll go Richie as well.
Richard Gray for general knowledge, dad knowledge, and how to fix your car, by the sounds of it.
There we go.
Not that either of us are going to be dads anytime soon.
You never know. You never know.
Moving swiftly onwards before we end up in a lawsuit.
Another one.
Is that up to
Let's
you? Go. That one that you just to the side.
No.
It's rigged. This podcast is rigged.
How dare you?
Okay, this is a training one. You can't see yourself. Who always hangs about for extras after training?
Oh.
Maybe just while Gregor mulls around, just Murphy gives us a bit of an insight. When we say extras, what's the stuff on the cards?
Well, if we say an after training, it could be. I mean, the easiest option is always the backs love kicking. That's an easy option.
Because it's easy.
Because
It looks like you're doing something.
Yeah, and it's fun. Doing anything from line out, mirror D work to one-on-one defense stuff with Murchie or anything attack-wise. Anything could be.
I don't want to choose a back because like they're kicking and passing stuff and they're unit sessions as well. We're like scrumming and mauling. And there was actually one day.
Don't act like you do anything.
Yeah, I'm standing up for you here, mate.
Yeah, thanks.
We just done a hard scrum maul session. Come in, and the backs are practicing their bridge passing over Pete Horn standing on a box. It's the first time I've been angry. Forward. I'll tell you who actually, Alex Samuel, on his like kickoff receipt, stuff like that, line out. He is usually out there. Always kind of trying to practice on that stuff. I'd go Alex Samuel for me.
Yeah, he does a lot of work with Horny as well.
Yeah.
I feel very strange talking about this with the two of you, given you both made your debuts the last 2 or 3 years ago. But in terms of the young guys coming through, Alex's debut against Benetton, I mean, from where I was sat in the stand, looked pretty blooming good.
Yeah, no, I did very well. It's quite cool. I played. Alex is a year younger than me, but he played with him at 18s. Not at 20s, but kind of came through a lot of the stuff in Cali with him as well. And so it was really cool kind of running out alongside him. Scotstoun.
Especially after his wee little year of injuries as well.
Yeah.
He's had
There's a thing, so when you get an upper body injury, which Alex had a few of, you are running from day one pretty much. And that man was out for about 9 months maybe, just doing mass running, Bronco reps. And like I felt bad for the guy. Felt really, really bad for the guy.
And if you see Big Al, and if you see him, if he ever makes a line break, or you see him kick chasing, have a look at his running technique.
Yeah. That's still 9 months wasn't enough to fix that.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, need a couple years.
Yeah, give him a wee bit of time. But yeah, always have a wee eye on Alex if you see him darting down the pitch because it's an interesting sight.
It's a sight.
You ever seen Happy Gilmore?
Yeah.
Do you remember? I've forgotten the name of the big guy, but it's when Shooter McGavin steals the big jacket.
That's Mr. Gilmore's jacket.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. Exact same technique.
But yeah, no, I'd go Alex for extras.
Yep, I agree. I reckon that's a good call.
Yeah.
Nice.
And any other back really that kicks because they're always out there. I mean, we came into here and it's lunch started at 12. It's now 12:40, and Ross, TJ, and all the nines were still out there, and
Yeah, it's
We've
easy.
got a team meeting in 15 minutes, so.
Yeah.
You ever been tempted to have a go at kicking yourself just as an extra? I mean, I'm not sure what
Do you mean
situation.
place kicking, drop kicking out of hand?
Did you tell me just 80 minutes in, kick on the line? Would you back yourself?
Absolutely not, but I'd love to give it a go.
Nah, I kicked a couple times at school, not place kicking like in open play. And the first time I did it was unreal. Like it actually went off really well. And then the second time I did it, I scuffed it, went straight into the stand, and everyone started shouting at me.
Nice. Right, go for it.
Me?
All right, go.
So not one of the ones you put to the side. Which teammate would you prefer to be stranded on a desert island with? Prefer to be, okay.
You got to think about. So I think Darjas answered this one last time, but you got to think about life skills here,
Yeah, true.
but also someone you like.
Yeah. Mix the two.
Yeah, there's no time scale given on that, I guess. So you could be there for forever, you could be there for a week. Like,
Yeah. I don't know, actually. I think Xander's someone who would, like, organize. Like me, I remember, I'm just taking...
On a deserted island?
Yeah.
Organize what?
I don't know. I just think he'd be, like, he's very plan in place. And he goes into dad mode. Like me, when we were in South Africa, before everyone got horrifically ill, me, Xander, and Ollie went out for some sushi. And we sat down, and Xander went full dad mode of, right, do you guys want to pick, or should I just order for everyone? Me and Ollie were like, yep, sure. You just,
Not a sushi restaurant on this island.
yeah.
But also, on the terms of food,
Yeah.
he'd be eating you if you didn't catch it.
True.
Be like
Maybe,
that.
and have you, when he eats as well, because he always says he grew up in a big family, obviously.
Yeah.
And so you had to eat quick to get seconds. So,
to be fair, I have no problem with that strategy, to be honest.
Fair.
I'll give you a clue who Darj said that I thought was a great shout. Think about hunter-gatherer.
Oh, Josh McCoy.
There we go.
Yeah, true. Actually, nah, that's a very educated answer.
Yeah.
There from Darsh.
No, he thought about it because
Yeah.
you think about it, if you're gonna need
True.
fishing.
Yeah, true. I'll go with Josh as well. I'll default.
Yeah, nice.
And he's a great guy. I couldn't see myself
2 for 1.
us falling out at all. Yeah.
Nice.
Be a solid shout.
Yeah.
Definitely take it. Definitely look after you from a sort of food point of view.
Yeah.
Take that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Food, water, and fire. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience, or
No.
been on a desert island recently?
No, I've been on a couple of wee camping trips with school,
Really?
but other than that, nothing too exhilarating.
I hate camping. It's awful.
Why?
It's just
Bet you go
awful.
camping in like RVs. And
What?
all that stuff.
No,
Knowing
nah.
you and
Nah, never. I hate camping. Just hotels.
well, I'll remember for when I'm going camping next, not to bring you. Right, let's go.
That is actually from the hat.
Taking
this
2.
time.
Who is the king of the jump scare, Gregor?
Jump scare. No one's really been doing that anymore. It's more gone to, I don't know, everyone's got different words from it. Like, I'd call it kegging when someone's pulls your shorts down. Lewis Bean
Oh, yeah.
did me in front of the whole, basically before gym, every session. Head of gym, Damien, will talk us through the session, and we're all just standing in a circle, and he got me in front of everyone. And did he get Fez as well before? Because no one jump scares anymore.
No. Well, Wilson still does, but he does
Yeah.
that for his TikTok.
TikTok, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's monetary value in that.
Yeah, he's got an incentive to do it.
Yeah.
He's gotten me a couple times, but yeah, Wilson still sticks with it. But yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think it's more
Kegging. What would you call that? It's called kegging.
scanty.
Scanty. Yeah, that was
I
another
don't know where
one.
it's come from, but or breeks.
Breeks, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, you're right. I think Bino loves that, but I think that's purely his military background.
Yeah, he's probably
with the lads.
Yeah,
And,
he's that guy in the team.
he's all about that culture and
yeah,
creating a good environment. And it's
Yeah.
always you've got to stay on your toes with
yeah,
because
definitely.
anything could come.
Definitely.
And he loves his nicknames as well.
Yeah, God.
Calling Archie Smeet and Tracy.
Yeah.
Tracy Beaker.
Makes no sense.
Because the hair, obviously. Come on, Gregor.
Just rewind it slightly to Mr. Wilson, obviously, as well. You say got you a couple of times.
Yeah.
Most recently, I'm guessing, is the airport coming back from South Africa, which I'm guessing a few of the listeners have probably seen on his Instagram by now.
Yeah, I think it got something like, I don't know how many views, but yeah, I think it was like 100,000 or something.
So do you get like a cut of Wilson's profits?
Oh no, nothing. I was raging because he tried it to me getting off the plane. He put it into my rucksack, and I had no idea. But apparently the speaker lost connection to his phone, and it turned off or something. So he was going through my bag as we're walking off the plane. I was like, "What are you doing?" And then his speaker was in there. I was like, "Right, okay, that's a bit suspect." So we get through security, we get through to the bags and whatnot. We're waiting at the carousel. Must have been waiting like 40 minutes. And obviously, we're all waiting there, lined up, and must be 50 of us.
Yep.
So, and because we're waiting for so long, I kind of just switched off, and we're all just sitting on the wee bag trolleys.
Yeah. And it was like 24 hours of flying.
Yeah, we're all knackered, and we just landed. So I wasn't really thinking straight, and I was right at the end of the carousel. Well, he was right at the front next to where all the bags came out. And little did I know that he had put the speaker into the smallest part of my bag, which I didn't zip tie shut. I zip tied every other pocket bar that one. He took my bag off, put it in there, put it back on the carousel. So when it came round, I obviously was like, oh, it's my bag, let's chuck it on. So got it. But the thing was, obviously when we're travelling away and as a big squad, there's a lot of kit that we need to take, and everybody gets given a kit bag that we need to take, and it's assigned for us. So you need to make sure it goes on and off the carousel. So my one and I think Jack Dempsey's one were taking forever and weren't coming round. So it was myself, John Manson, Jack Dempsey, all waiting for our bags. Everybody had gone through already, straight through to the arrivals bit. But Wilson, for some reason, was hanging about. And I was like, why is Wills hanging about? He never usually waits for anyone. He's usually straight out as first one on the bus. And I said to him, what are you waiting on? He was like, oh, just making sure you're all getting your bags on, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, nah, there's no way. So as we get our bags anyway, we're walking to the arrivals. I slyly opened my rucksack to check, because I was like, this is a bit suspect. I opened my rucksack to check. Both pockets, nothing in it. I was like, okay, fine. Maybe he is just waiting around being a good guy. Wrong.
Nope.
As soon as I come out of the arrivals door, he presses play, and that noise comes on the speaker. And I am not kidding you. That place was packed. Like on the video doesn't do it justice, does it though?
Nah, there could have been better angles. That was full of kids welcoming
Families.
their dads back.
Yeah. Families just surrounding us.
I'm not gonna lie as well. I saw him take your bag off and put the speaker in, but
And you didn't say a thing to me.
And I thought about it.
Right,
I was sat down and I thought about it, and then
we
just
I
tried.
cannot believe that.
I just literally had
Gregor Brown. Lost all respect for you.
I just
now.
had norovirus. I'd lost like 4 kilos. I was dead. And we just traveled
cannot
24
believe that.
hours, and I honestly couldn't care less.
I heard it was only him and
I
Sammy.
did not care.
That's it.
I did not care. I just got my bag and got on that bus.
But yeah, it was. As soon as it happened, I knew what was going on. You see Wilson smirking in the background, acting as if nothing is to do with him, but obviously clearly all to do with him. And then, yeah, the whole place was packed, which was the worst part. And I take the speaker out. I think I turn it off. I start to walk away, and then it starts playing again. And I was straight out that door as fast as I could. But yeah, that was Wilson and his antics for TikTok.
Anything for the craft.
Anything for the graft and the money.
We'll do one more, since I'm aware you guys have got to shoot
Go
off
on,
to,
Gregor.
and Gregor's got his lunch to finish. Make it a good one, man.
You have to call one teammate. If they don't pick up, you win £1 million. Who are you calling?
It's the Sam Johnson question.
Don't pick up.
Sammy picked Ali, and Ali picked up.
Yeah.
So don't pick Ali.
I go. Dobie's really bad on his phone, but he always picks up for me.
I mean, that's
Just
just
nice.
nice. That's nice.
Best friends. Who's not going to pick up? Roy Dar. Nah, he's really good on his phone, actually.
I guarantee you wouldn't pick up right now because his phone is in my locker.
Yeah, yeah. But he's someone who's good on his phone. You need. trying to think. Probably someone like, kind of roasting myself, but maybe like Richie. He'd see Gregor Brown and be like, I'm not speaking to him. Why would I? Why is he phoning me? Yeah, that's probably the route I'd take for that. I hope that all my close mates would pick up.
I mean, I feel after your revelation about the speaker bag,
Yeah,
I don't
no,
think Murphy's going to pick up anymore.
True.
Blocked. Never speaking to you. See that time you came around for pizza? Never again. Absolutely never again.
You can just finish all the pizza to yourself.
I don't eat pizza. I only eat broccoli and tuna and jacket potato like I've got right in front of me.
Exactly, yeah.
Health.
Yeah.
Nice. So Richie.
But that I'd kind of hope he would pick up, to be honest, if I was in trouble. I've had to phone Wilson before, and he's picked up.
Yeah, but it's probably because he was TikToking.
True. Who would be really bad on their phone?
Any staff?
Staff. Killian. Or would he be really good?
I don't know. Honestly.
He's one of those guys that you send him a message on WhatsApp, he'll read it, 2 blue ticks, and then he'll reply like an hour later.
Yeah. He's got to
Really
think about
annoys
it.
me. Really, like, if you're gonna pie me, don't open the message. That's like simple manners.
It's life advice for Gregor Brown. Right
Yeah,
now.
exactly. If you're gonna pie, just don't
Gregor
open
Brown.
it. Yeah, Killian. Oh, Killian. He's not picking up for me.
Cool.
All right.
Nice, Gregor.
And on that note, that brings us to an end of episode 8 of the Squadcast.
Wow.
There we go. Look at that. I said that with such
Number
a
8
surprise
for
Number
Gregor Brown.
that we never expected to get to number 8. There we go. My thank you
Gregor
again to Gregor. I'll let you go and finish your lunch now and
Perfect.
hopefully escape unscathed from Murphy's recriminations about your pack. Murphy, glad to have you back.
Thanks. Good to be back.
Till next week.
Till next week. We'll see who we get.
Until then, I've been Craig Wright, he's been Murphy Walker, he's been Gregor Brown, and this has been the Glasgow Warriors Squadcast.